Hey everyone, welcome to the Pulp podcast. What's the juice today, Omari?
Today we're squeezing the topic of humor.
Yay, humor. We all just get to laugh and have a bunch of fun. Now, what makes humor humorous? What specifically makes the thing we laugh at funny? Like, what is the derivative notion that something is funny, like spastic changes in tone, something that's abrupt or something that's awkward, like The Office.
Yeah, you mean like if I were to start talking like this and then you go up here, because then that surprises you, and for some
that's
reason
kind of like Nickelodeon terrible cheesy humor.
Yeah,
that is Nickelodeon humor.
There's a whole bunch of different types of humor. You've got like ironic humor, like
your favorite.
Sure. You've got ironic humor. You've got like ADHD spastic humor, awkward humor.
Dark humor?
Yeah, like
Gabe's humor.
Yeah.
You have humor like TikToks and random videos that really don't
like
make
relatable,
any sense.
like relatable humor.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people don't like it and a lot of people do like it because it's relatable and people are like, well, that means it's relatable to some and that makes it pop culture and let's avoid pop culture.
Wait. But isn't all humor relatable to some extent?
Yeah.
Because like even in ironic humor, like take the bruh sound effect meme that's going around right now, like just bruh. Right? It's not funny. It's really not. But like when you think about it, it is kind of funny because like it's ironic. It's like you and the person who posted the meme know that the bruh sound was funny unironically a few years ago, but now you're bringing it back in an ironic sense. So that's the joke between you and that person is like, haha, I know this is stupid.
Yeah, like, and it's funny because as the what we find funny like just randomly changes, the people who are supposed to be people who make humor, they kind of, I feel like they're just starting to throw out stuff and hope it gets a positive response, you know? Because like sometimes you see a video and it's just the most random thing and you do laugh at it, but what if you don't, you know? There's no way they can know that you're going to laugh at this.
Well, humor is like really subjective to the people that are viewing it. So, and a comedian or someone that creates content to make people laugh, they're going to know their audience, whether they like the spastic random humor or the relatable or ironic or whatever type of humor it is. They're going to know the population of people that watch them, and they'll make content to cater to that.
Boys, can we figure out like the humor algorithm?
Like what makes something funny?
Yeah. Like
so, like what's
specific?
What's at the bottom of it? What is the
random? What
random
is the humor
funny?
Is the worst humor? Oh,
okay.
What is the funny?
It's kind of like I think it's something like the same
bottom,
thing.
Yeah, random humor is at the bottom of the funnies.
Well, I think something that relates to all humor is abruptness, kind of like horror. It's something that's natural. It's
How about
something
like
that
timing?
happens.
Because like
timing, that's a better way to put it.
Especially because like often in a scenario, like you can say something funny but it doesn't work because of comedic timing. Comedic timing is almost essential to anything that is funny. The time.
It seems like it relates to horror. Like horror and comedy kind of go hand in hand because like the timing of something like a jump scare is more effective whenever it's got like the suspense and you add to it. Like it builds up and then you crack the joke, the climax, and then it goes back down. You've got to find the right time to say another joke or to put another jump scare in there or something else. They kind of seem relative.
That's true. Yeah, because like if there's a difference between like telling a joke, and then there's a difference between just telling the joke, and then like saying a joke with the right timing. It makes a big difference.
Also tone. I think tone's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
A wrong tone, it doesn't apply. But I mean, monotone, it can work in some cases. Like sarcastic humor is very, very good. Like, well done in monotone.
If someone just says like a super, like, let's say like positive statement or something in a monotone voice, the contrast is just like, it's enough to make you laugh.
Well, actually, I feel like
something unexpected. Something unexpected.
Like knock knock, we say like knock knock is pretty funny in like monotone. But I also find it a lot funnier in something like Jack Sparrow. Like, terribly insane. Like, like just imagine like mumbling like a knock knock joke, like a drunk mumbling.
Give us an example. I want to hear it.
I can't do voices.
No, you can do it. Just knock. That's not good.
Knock knock. It's Captain Jack Sparrow.
That is a great British accent.
Yeah, it's not Jack Sparrow though.
You know what?
Yeah, like what about accents? Something like that. Some people find like making fun of other things funny. Like
but making fun, I still think there's that connection where like
I think relation is
like relate because you have to
relation is another part of of humor.
Yeah, because like when you're making fun of something, you and the person you're making fun of it with know what you're making fun of, right? Like I feel like there's got to be that hidden.
Yeah, like you could point at a person and both of you are gonna laugh, but you don't even have to say anything. Like there are
That's
times.
the thing. It's unspoken.
Yeah.
You
There's
don't say
unspoken humor.
So say somebody's wearing shoes that necessarily you think are funny, but the other person doesn't necessarily think they're like dumb or whatever, and you point and you say, "Look at those shoes," and then the other person goes,
They're pretty great.
"Yeah," and so like it's not necessarily funny, but if you both look at the shoes and say there's like he's got like trash on his shoe or something that he doesn't notice, and then you and your friend both look at the shoe and there's trash on it and you're like, he's got trash on his shoe. Like there's a difference.
I actually do have a short story kind of relating to this. So basically, me and a friend, we were once walking and there was a fence and a cat just slipped right underneath the fence. And we kind of stood there for a while watching, and another group came by, and a person in this group looked at the cat and goes, "How did cat get over the fence?" And this fence was about like, I would say double an average person's height, so like it was a pretty tall fence. And this person looks at the fence and goes, "Oh, duh, the cat jumped over it." So me and my friend looked at each other, looked at the person, and just laughed. See, nothing even had to be said. It's just the relation and the situation and the timing brewed something that was just funny.
Can we also say like sleep deprivation has an effect?
Oh God, yes.
Oh my God,
it really
is sleep deprivation a drug?
If you're tired, everything is funny. It's like a high.
At 2 a.m. or okay, all right. The time period of like spending the night at someone's house, right? Like you got 12 a.m. You're both pretty chill. Like everything's kind of good
Just
right
like
now.
snack time.
Yeah, you're gonna eat. Like you're having a good old time.
Gaming and
it
chilling.
turns 1 a.m. You're starting to get a little tired, a little bit. But then that's when your friend goes and grabs the Coke. And then you start drinking Coke. So now it's 2 a.m. You're running off of...
You better be drinking God juice.
Exactly. But you're tired, but now you're starting to get energized. It's 3 a.m. You're exhausted. You're running off of nothing but caffeine. And anything that is said is now the funniest thing like in the world.
And it's funny because it almost like gives you energy. Like you just laugh your way to staying awake.
What if it's a natural awakening? So like a defense mechanism. So say you think there's a purpose. Like long time ago, cavemen, they needed to stay awake, right? There's a caveman, he needs to stay awake. So he's staying up night watch with another guy. And they have to laugh, and if they laugh, their body spazzes, and then they wake up. They get the blood rushes to everywhere else, and then they are more awake, more alert. So comedy and laughter may be a defense mechanism to help alert your senses.
Not even that, but like when you're laughing at something, it's like interesting. You know what I mean? Like when you're laughing at it, you're like paying attention to it. So like if you're like laughing or whatever, then it's like, does it make you focus more? I don't know. I feel like if you find something funny, you like pay attention to it. I don't know.
And it applies significance to it too. Like,
true.
Because you're focusing on this, like focusing on video or the joke or whatever you're doing, and you're consciously laughing at it because you've like spent time looking at it, and now you've like supplied importance.
Yeah, not
to
even
it.
just looking at it, absorbing it. Because like I'm the type of person where if someone has a funny laugh, I will laugh at the laugh. But for me to just laugh at someone's laugh, like, because you can hear people's laughs every day, but for me to laugh at someone's laugh, I have to be paying enough attention to it to notice what to me makes it funny. Because like obviously it's like an analyzing process, which your brain will do almost instantly, but still like you got to have some level of attentiveness to even have that reaction.
Okay, what about like cringy humor? Like when people try to get your attention with comedy, like when they put it in like notes or their speeches and they want to put it in, but it's not really that funny. But like timing, like
you can be cringy and still be funny.
Yeah,
I feel like because like if you tell a really bad joke in a certain time, right, it's still funny. And I wonder if that just keeps going back to like you and the people in the audience know that it's a cringy joke. Yeah. And that's what's funny about it.
I think most of the humor that comes from cringiness is leaning into the cringiness. It's not attempting to be good and it ends up being cringy. It's recognizing that it's cringy and just leaning into it. So that's it just creates its own type of humor.
Leaning into awkwardness.
Isn't that what dad jokes are?
Yes.
They're the most simple jokes ever. Like someone will say, "Yeah,
hey, hungry,
hi, hungry, how you doing?"
Don't call me Shirley.
Why'd I laugh at that? That's not even like the joke's not even funny.
But we understand.
Yeah, we've
understand
applied like the term dad joke to it, and now we've given it
got
significance
that inside,
or
like
just a
if
cringy
you and your
factor
friends
of
were
it.
sitting in a quiet room and someone just had a dad joke, it ain't gonna be funny. But the fact that he just burst out of quietness with that, the timing is just
it's
optimal,
peak.
like,
I have a
annual
short
laugh.
anecdote about dad jokes. All right, it's me and my stepbrother. We're in West Virginia doing some crazy adventure. I don't know. We had an RV. We were outside. We're around a bonfire, and we both have our phones. We both look up a bunch of dad jokes. We sat there for 3 hours telling each other nothing but dad jokes.
They're good.
Yeah, and I don't know what was going on. We must have been extremely tired because we haven't gotten much sleep, but it was great.
Evidence?
It was really good. Another thing is like something like The Office. Awkwardness is usually made to humor, but it's like the timing we talk about a lot. Like if the humor isn't well placed, like it'll just be awkward. It won't be funny.
Yeah.
So is there a certain way to put it?
Is there like a fine line there? Because like when a joke flops, it's really awkward. You know what I mean?
And I feel like most of the time jokes flop because of timing, because they're missing the foundation of a joke. The
Not
foundation of a joke
always.
seems to be mostly timing.
That's timing, and then like missing that understanding.
Oh my god, that's
or the presentation.
Are we talking about
Yeah.
like Rick and Morty, like how people have to have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty jokes?
yeah, or even that. Like I play like I will play like Cards Against Humanity with my other friends, and there are like so many things they just won't get. Like I don't want to say any of the jokes because they can be a bit bad. But like for example, there was one of the cards was like the 3/5 compromise, and they just had no idea what 3/5 compromise was.
So you can't make a joke about it if they don't understand
Yeah,
it.
it will never ever be funny to them, even if it's a quote unquote funny joke.
They'd be like,
So
why
is
are you
that-
bringing math here? Like,
So is that at the base? Is that at the
understanding?
is like
Yeah.
understanding?
I think
Understanding.
Yeah,
okay.
I think understanding should be like number one. So like at the bottom, because if you know what your audience is, you can make a great joke. Like I was playing Cards Against Humanity. I've only played once, and I owned the game because I knew the audience, and I got lucky with some pretty good cards. I got 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So
understanding probably like
okay, I'd say understanding the joke, aka audience. So
like
knowing your
having,
audience.
but like having them also understand it.
Yeah.
Because like you can't tell, like Omari said, you can't tell a joke about. I mean,
History.
It's history. You can't tell a joke about no, this is evidence. We all understood
what we were talking
why
about.
that was funny. History, right? So that's funny. So we understand it, right? That's what made that funny.
But some of you listening might not even laugh at that.
So to break it down, basically we were talking about the 3/5 compromise. If you don't know what that is, Google it. And then we talked about how that relates to history and how that was a historical event. And then we brought it up again, and it's a reference to a previous joke.
exactly. And once you finish reading that, you're gonna come back and you're like, oh, now I see why that's funny.
Exactly. The stigma.
Yeah.
You can't make, because we all understand. Okay. All right. we understand, right? We understand. So at the bottom of humor.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. You can't get that joke. No. All right. We understand.
See, we can't even just attack
we
the same
understand.
topic the same way.
We
And
understand.
understanding is the only reason why it's funny.
Step number one to making a joke: understanding in both your audience and yourself.
and like
Step 2.
a quick second has got to be timing.
Timing.
Step 2 is
Is there a
timing.
third?
Just,
Tone.
because these
Tone.
jokes we said wouldn't be very funny. Like if I said 3/5 compromise right now, it wouldn't be funny.
It just, yeah.
It's just me saying
it would
3/5
flop.
compromise.
But after you said that, if I just said 3/5 compromise, it's a slightly funnier.
it's a little bit- it's a little bit
slightly
funnier.
funnier, right?
Yeah. So it's like a timing thing, and you can't be too late on jokes because like if someone's like talking and then someone else talks, it's like, well, now I can't put that joke in, and now I'm
Yeah.
never gonna use it again. You know,
Sad
it's-
day.
Yeah, but you have to follow the rules. Step 1, step 2. What's step 3?
Donnie
Tone.
said tone.
It would have to be
Tone.
tone because
That's a good
someone
one.
like me who has an extremely monotone voice would not be able to make a joke that requires either
Inflection.
Yeah,
I guess.
like any
like a
kind of
history joke.
voicing or anything like
But
that.
it is funny because that actually works for you sometimes humorly. Because like if someone will make a joke, everyone else is like dying, like laughing hysterically, and then Donnie has this most monotone,
Or and it adds like a comment to it.
Yeah.
Like, and then it
It's-
becomes
it's
like
the-
10 times funnier.
Yeah.
like he could just laugh and be like nice, and I will just bust out laughing just because it's like a monotone. It's a monotone paired with a situation that we're in, and like the timing's just like after everyone else. If you just add something like a nice, like I don't know, like that is a good combination of just humor to me.
Okay, step 1.
So we have our 3 steps.
The big 3.
Yeah, the big 3. And then there's
Out of
probably
5.
sub-steps out of
Yeah.
that, we could say. So understanding, timing, and then tone. Would we have a sub-step 4?
I think repetition could be pretty important because Caleb said
That's a good one.
You understand it, or
That
something,
might
and
be
then
that might
Omari
be just in
followed
the
it up.
understanding though, because like we all understand that we've said it.
true.
Well, actually, I think it should
But also not
deserve its own
overstepping
place
the
because
repetition.
I believe I don't know if it's just in TV in
Timing.
general or whatever, but like in certain media, there's something called the rule of threes.
Oh yeah.
True.
For example, how many times do we make that 3/5 joke before it stopped being funny?
Like 3 times.
Yeah,
About
like
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like repetition is something that's important.
Because like shows they'll like have a joke and then halfway through the show or like somewhere in between they'll
reference it.
mention it again.
Callbacks are the greatest thing
And then
ever.
they'll wait until like the end of the show
3/5
or the end of
compromise.
the hour and
Callback,
make that
but it
joke
didn't work 'cause it's 4
again.
times.
Yeah, because we said it too many times.
Yeah, we killed it. And when
Now it's only 3/5 effective.
But like,
All right.
okay.
Timing.
Yeah, timing. That was good. But that's how it works. Because if like rule 1 was understanding, rule 2 was timing. So it can cross out tone, like it can cross out repetition. It like the way
It's got like a hierarchy.
yeah, they can overrule each other. So it's more
makes
like
sense.
a pyramid, an upside down pyramid.
That's
kind of
true
thing.
because like if you don't have understanding, then you don't
Yeah,
need
like
timing.
Then you don't need timing, and
honestly-
if you don't have timing, then you don't need tone, and if you don't need tone, then you don't need repetition.
And it's also insane. It's like because understanding is that baseline. Like you should like in an environment you would never have to say understanding is essential to a joke because if the understanding like there, it's just not even a joke. Like understanding
Yeah.
is just so essential that without understanding, it's just not a joke. And with it, you don't even have to say it because understanding is just there. It will always have to be there.
So the 4 major steps to humor, I suppose, we have step 1, understanding. Step 2, timing. I'm out of it. Step 2 is timing. Step 3, tone. And step 4, repetition.
anything else.
Or just all
and
the
step 5
subsets.
repetition.
And step 6, repetition, I believe.
Yes.
What was 7 was repetition. That's right.
Maybe
That was too many
8 or
times. That was 4
too many.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Killed the joke.
Killed it.
Shame.
But you can actually keep a bit. Like if you were doing a bit at like 2 a.m., like time of day applies because like repetition doesn't matter. Time of day, like if it's 3 a.m., repetition won't matter. You'll say the same joke 400 times in a night and it'll still be funny because you're both high on.
Well,
That's why repetition is so high on the list.
I feel like your mind doesn't recognize the repetition at that point because you're so tired. You just kind of forget that it's been told subconsciously.
maybe
You're
you
just
feel like it's a day. It's been a day since that joke's been told. It's been
That's
like,
why timing is so
Timing.
important on that hierarchy.
Yeah.
but you
time's
have
so
to
tired.
understand it in the first
yeah,
place.
yep. I think we done good.
Was
This
that everything?
yeah, that's a nice algorithm.
I almost feel like we can get a 5th topic in there.
a 5th one. So
fifth
after
one?
repetition 3 times.
Yeah.
Number five.
No, it would be number 7.
Because after all the repetitions,
Or would it be 6? 7.
know.
Yeah, 7. I can do math.
can we find a 5th?
Is there a 5th?
Do we need a part 2 to this episode? Maybe.
Haven't
Do we need
all
to,
our
do we
part
need to
2s
search
failed?
for
But
number
you see-
5?
Oh yeah, our part 2s have been doing kind of bad on
Yeah,
YouTube. We have like
that's
4
true.
views on one of our part 2s, and yeah.
You
So-
see, the 5th section is so very, very important because if we develop a 5th section, then we can make another 3/5 joke.
We
Oh my
could.
God.
Hold up, because then there's like the big 3, and then there's
The
the,
big
sub,
3, exactly.
the sub 2. Yeah.
So- okay. So what,
Okay.
So what is there?
There's nothing else. Honestly,
There's
I don't
nothing
What about
else.
dark humor? Some people don't like. Acceptance.
Surprise.
No, acceptance. I like acceptance. Surprise works too, but acceptance. If people don't accept dark humor, like say you have
It
really
doesn't work.
sensitivity. That's a
Yeah.
better way to put it. Sensitivity. If someone doesn't like what you're gonna say, if they're a sensitive person, then you
Surprise
shouldn't
goes with
say the
timing.
joke because
true.
like you shouldn't say like Nazi jokes in Poland.
Yeah,
Actually, it's illegal, but you shouldn't say them.
that makes
true.
sense.
Yeah.
So, wait, wouldn't acceptance
sensitivity.
have to
So-
be higher though? Because
Sensitivity is probably above repetition.
Yeah.
I'd say repetition is last because the joke is already completed by the time
Yeah,
repetition
so that's
comes
like
into play.
that's like a bottom level whatever repetition that can happen after because you've already developed joke.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, so we have. Here we go. One last time. We
One
got
last time.
number 1. We have understanding. Number 2, we have timing. Number 3, tone. Number 4, I would say sensitivity. Or
Sensitivity.
understanding, and not understanding. That's the first one. Acceptance.
Sensitivity or
And
acceptance.
then, and then number 5 is repetition.
Oh yeah. Real quick, Gabe just reminded us. Thank you, whoever I forget your name.
Matthew Richardson.
Matthew Richardson. Our one comment was pretty egotistical. Said he was our only fan, but it's
Oh,
kind of
man.
true.
Yep, that's right. We're giving
Thanks,
you a big old
Rathu.
shout out for giving us such a very, very
Oh yeah, and
thoughtful comment.
Ali like disabled the comment, put it as private, as spam. Who put it as spam?
No, I didn't do
Somebody
it.
did.
Don't
Someone
look
put
at
it as
me.
spam.
Either
For
way,
those of you
thank
who
you.
don't know,
Thank you.
Gabe and Ali are our sound guys.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's our only comment, and this was celebrating it.
Yeah.
Honestly, we would love more feedback. So if you want to comment, go ahead, just have at it, comment. So yeah, we are shouting you out, buddy. We know you exist.
Okay, so our pyramid of 5,
That's what we got.
our 5 rules
I like
to
it.
joking.
5 rules to
It's
humor.
a pyramid. A pyramid with 5 steps. What does a pyramid have? 3 sides. 3 out of 5. 3/5. I'm
A
done.
pyramid has 4.
All right.
A pyramid has 4 or 5 sides.
Very
to be
nice.
honest, it's got a base.
All right. we're killing it now. I guess that wraps it up. Are we done?
This is good.
All right.
All right.
Of course, we're not done. We're never done. We're nonstop.
Okay.
All right.
Signing out. Goodbye. This was pretty juicy. See you later.
Bye all.
Adios.
Adios, muchachos.